Once upon a time, there was a serial killer who was referred to as the real-life vampire because he not only killed people but also drank their blood and consumed their body parts, organs included, after grinding them with soda. He was so dangerous that he spared neither humans or animals. Why did he commit this murder? What enmity was with them? Before we proceed with the video, let me make it clear it. I challenge you to say that you don't have the courage to watch the whole video. If you have the courage, then watch the whole video and comment. The content of this video is such that after hearing this story, the impact of this real incident might linger on your mind for days. I will tell you about the real-life vampire and also recount an incident involving a girl. Literally, after learning about that incident, you will never trust any stranger ever again. You must have understood by now that this is part 1 of the serial killer series. And in this series, I will tell you about various dangerous serial killers, their bizarre fantasies, and their methods of killing. On January 27, 1978, the door of Evelyn's house was left unlocked. It was daytime, and everything seemed normal in her home. There was a 6-year-old child named Jason, her 22-year-old nephew David, and his friend Dan. Suddenly, a man entered their house and mercilessly killed everyone, not sparing even the children. The police investigated the whole incident and found that blood was sucked from the bodies of all the victims. After cutting open the stomachs of the 3 children present in the house and removing their organs, something was done to them that I can't even describe, and many organs were put in a glass, mixed with soda, and the killer drank it. When the police officers sat down and witnessed this incident, their minds were blown. They said, "This cannot be the work of a human being. I mean, how can anyone even think of such brutal acts?" But this was not just one incident. At that time, such incidents of this nature had increased significantly in the city. Everyone kept their house doors locked out of fear that someone might enter their home. And no one knew who did the murder, but your brother knew who was doing the murder. The man's full name is Richard Chase, whose mind has been troubled since childhood. Neither the police nor anyone else could prosecute him. He would kill people and then drink the blood from their corpses. He suffered from mental problems since childhood, and his father kicked him out of the house. When he was 25, he fell into bad company and got addicted to the wrong things. He spent a long time in the hospital where he received treatment but did not improve. Instead, his condition worsens, and he turns into a murderer. His first victim was an assistant working at the same hospital where he was admitted. When Richard was admitted to the hospital, the assistant saw him doing something unexpected. He would quietly go up to the roof and catch the pigeons sitting there, drink their blood, and while doing this, Richard was spotted by an assistant at the hospital. The assistant watches him very carefully. When Richard realizes this, he kills the hospital assistant and escapes from the hospital. And no one suspected him, but his neighbors saw him many times drinking the blood of innocent animals. He would bring beautiful rabbits and later do the same with them. But brother, how long will this murderer survive from the hands of the police? Such dangerous killers because they have no brains. They are full of madness, and in that madness, they commit such crimes. The police soon capture Richard Chase, and when asked why he did what he did, how he chose to kill, finally, what enmity did you have with the people you killed? So, Richard Chase said he had no enmity with these people. I didn't even know them. I would just go to the door that was closed. I would come back. And the door that was opened by mistake, I realized that he meant to come in and let me eat. When the police conducted a full investigation about him, all the psychiatrists and others together gathered information about Richard Chase. They realized that his brain was working differently, and this person could not be reformed because he had already been living in the hospital for a long time. And although he was given treatment for his mental illness, it did not improve. Finally, Richard Chase was executed. That too by gas chamber punishment, where a person is locked in a room and poison gas is released, causing him to die in agony. I mean, literally, when I was studying Richard Chase to make this video, I felt really weird too. I was wondering why I am making a video on this person. I mean, how could someone be so dangerous, so inhuman? Brother, Richard Chase is gone now, but his story teaches us something. And that is to always keep the door of your house locked, because you never know when a crazy psycho might walk into your house. Anyway, Richard Chase also has a special name in the history of killers. He is called a real-life vampire. Now I am going to tell you another crime case, and this case is very important for you to hear, because you will learn something very special. See the next case. This event happened in Mexico in 2018. A woman was walking in the morning. The weather was cold when she saw a girl coming towards her who was about 13 years old. The girl's clothes are torn. He went to the woman and asked for help. The woman immediately called the police, and it was learned that the girl's name was Amy Close, and that the girl had been kidnapped for 87 days by a man who kept her 70 miles from her home. The man was a little drunk that night. So bro, this girl had a chance to escape, but she didn't know where she was. Then he went to the woman and asked for help. The Mexican police were very efficient. They caught the kidnapper immediately. His name was Jack Peterson. When asked why he did this, why he kidnapped this girl, what was the enmity with the parents, he said, "I did not even know the parents of this girl. I didn't even know this girl. He was going to school one day. He was getting on the school bus. I was also going to my work. My eyes fell on her, and I felt that I wanted this girl. Then I followed him, went to his house, and kidnapped him." When the police heard Jake Peterson's story, they couldn't believe it. But when they investigated thoroughly, it turned out that this man named Jake had no criminal record. He has never done anything wrong before. He was an ordinary man with a job. Seeing the girl, this crime came to his mind. Although Jack Peterson was caught and sent to jail, from this story, we understand that you cannot assume that a person around you who has never committed a crime has no guarantee that he will not commit a crime in the future. You don't know what goes through his mind when he sees this girl. What a crime a man can literally commit. After this case, it is not right to trust a stranger. Literally, this man, Peterson, what he did, in our country, in our area, we call it madness. And such people are called mad. Maybe we should give him a name. His name was Jack Peterson, so I'll call him Crazy Peterson, who wasted his whole life chasing after a girl for no reason, and that girl's life too. So, what do you think of this Crazy Peterson story? Let me know by commenting. How did you like this video? Let me know too. And if you haven't seen the previous 2 parts of this video, bro, you're missing out on some very dangerous killers. After knowing about them, your mind will be blown. And if not, then subscribe the channel because more parts of this series are coming. Dated for today. Don't trust anonymous people. Stay safe. See you in the next exciting video.